Well, hey, how are you? Wanted to do a video today about your local court, your county court website, but we're going to talk about some other court websites as well. But I want to focus and hone in on your county court website. Now, one of the first things you need to do is to go to Google, one of my favorite resource tools, and it should be yours too. Okay, put in courts in the state of blank, whatever your state is. Courts in, and it should come up and bring you to a list on Google somewhere where it'll show you what the highest court is in your state, all the way down to the state court level, maybe municipal court. And every state can be a little bit different in what they call some of their courts. So I'm going to talk about mine. And what I want you to do is go to your county court, whatever your county name is. Mine is called Volusia County. And here's some of the things on my court website that I think you'll see kind of the same info. Now, some of the areas of law that they cover on the website itself is juvenile law. They'll cover probate. In Florida, probate's a complicated deal, so we have to go through the court system for that. In New Jersey, where I'm from, it's much simpler. But Florida it's long and drawn out. So we have a probate department, we have small claims, we have municipal law where people will pay if you have traffic tickets and stuff. You can go right to the courthouse and pay those. We have a big county courthouse in our county seat, which is DeLand, but we have other courthouses throughout the county, smaller ones. We used to have one in New Smyrna Beach, which they just recently closed, but we have a big courthouse in Daytona Beach, so right by the Halifax River. And that's the one I'm most familiar with. That I've been inside there. I worked as a guardian ad litem, and I would handle juvenile matters. The attorney would be there, and I'd be sitting in the seats, and if I had something to say, I would raise my hand and the judge would let me talk. So we have this type of court is where mortgages will be filed with the court, right, in their system, and you can go look at that stuff. How do you look at it? Well, there's an area where you can do a case search. So one of the things that I did was I worked for an attorney who, I've worked on the bankruptcy side, but I've also worked on the foreclosure side, and I had to go look for mortgages and notes, and that would be filed under the person's name in the system. And so, what I would do when I first went, when I was a new paralegal, I would go and look under my name and just Williams and find a whole bunch of cases, and then I could see the types of cases that were in there. You can do that too. There's nothing wrong with doing that. There's also, what you'll see on the court website usually is you will see forms for people who want to file a case on their own without using an attorney. They'll have forms there. So what else is on the court website, the lower court, that's called the state court? Well, you might find pages that each of the judges will have their own page in some courthouses. And what will be on the page, this is fun to look at, honestly, and what will be on the page, and one of the case managers at the courthouse years ago alerted me to this, that there's information about how a judge wants the order worded. If I'm going to upload an order for the judge to look at, when I file a motion, there always has to be an order with it. But it has to be filed under orders, not with the motion. But they want it to read a certain way, and I did not know that. And the more I looked at the court website, the more I found. And so I found pages about that. So become a major investigator with your court website, especially your lower court. And you'll see all the areas of law that are dealt with on that level. That's the lower court. Now, I've worked in bankruptcy, and that area of law has its own court and owns their own set of rules, federal rules of bankruptcy, but also federal bankruptcy courthouse, okay? And I've had the pleasure of going to that particular courthouse in Orlando. Each state will have, if it's a big state like California and Florida or Texas, there will be regions where they will set it up. And for me, if I had to go to Orlando to the courthouse for federal, I would have to drive about an hour and 15 minutes to get there. So, and we had to do that, and our case was going to be heard in Orlando, but we were up in Tallahassee, my law firm. So a bunch of us drove down and sat there and listened to the judge. And so it was just a hearing. And when you see the names and you bring up all the names of the courts in your state, go find their websites and look at what's on there. Write those things down. Have a couple pages for the lower court, or 3 pages, and write all the things you're finding. And then go to the federal bankruptcy website for your state and look up that website and see what's on there. And then go to your federal, just plain old federal courthouse, which is separate from the other two, and see what's on there. And then if you have what we have in Florida, our top court is called the Supreme Court. You can go to that website and look at that, and keep separate pages for each one so that you can refer back to that. You know, you're doing research right now to help yourself, because when an attorney works in family law, they're in the lower court. When they work in bankruptcy, they're in the bankruptcy court, okay? When they work in, for instance, an automobile dealership law, you see all those dealerships around you, they are governed by federal law. And so if there's any type of issue that has to be dealt with, we have to go to the federal courthouse, okay? Investigate it. You'll be so far ahead when you do that. And you'll know what's on those pages. Do the judges have their own page? Really check that out. Oh, the last thing, and there'll be some things I'm forgetting, but you find that out with your investigation. One of the things I want you to take a look at, when you look at the index on the left-hand side or wherever it is on the website, look at the local rules and just take a look at it. Be aware of it. Okay, what kind of information is in there? That should be a separate page altogether for that court. For each court, do they have a section on rules? And go look at it. You don't have to memorize that. Just look at it and be aware, because it may be that there's some things in there that will apply to your case. So you have to check that out. Don't neglect that, okay? So that's what I wanted to cover today. As a new paralegal, I want you to become very familiar with this. You know, whether you have gone to school or you're going for a certificate, a lot of things are missing from those curriculums, okay? The practical stuff, some of it is missing. So I want you to fill in those areas, okay, by becoming a major detective way before you start sending your resume and cover letter out. Because, boy, it's pretty awesome when you can sit in an interview and talk about what you're familiar with. Yeah, that's a score 1 for you, yeah. So the one thing I want to tell you about is this tip is going to be in a book I'm putting out that's a free PDF called Paralegal Career Secrets Black Book. And I'm going to post a picture down the road of this, but I wanted to give you a heads up that that is coming. And this is one of the tips in there. There will be many, many more tips. I'm working on this free PDF as we speak, okay? But you'll be one of the first to hear when it's ready, and it will be ready soon. So, but I'm going to talk about it in the meantime. Tips that I've shared this week so far will be in the book, okay? And this will help you in your career. It will be a great help to you. Things to be aware of and things to beware of, all right? So have a great one. Don't forget, I'm going to put the link in the description box below to the website. Be sure you go to the website, check out the 2 complimentary items that I have for you there already, beside the one that I'm working on. 19 alternative paralegal careers list, and or the free chapter of my book, Legal Break-In. You need to get those. It'll ask you to sign up for the Paralegal Resource Hub, but sign up for it so you can watch the other videos I have there and get a hold of those resources. I put them all in one place, okay? And what else? Oh, and when you're on the website, which is called paralegalcoffeetalk.com, be sure to check out Paralegal Inner Circle class info, which will be launching on January 15th. That's the class. That's my mega class that has 40 plus videos. That will be launching January 15th. So have a great day. Any questions, comments, post them below. I love hearing from you. And I will talk to you in the next video. Bye.